Yeah, please, sir, please.
Okay, thank you. So the topic of the evening is evolution of Web3 and Finternet. I welcome you all once again to my session and good evening to all of you. As you are aware, uh, we'll be talking predominantly on financial systems and processes in the context of delivery through internet. Our flow of discussion would be essentially to start with the digital transformation. Then we'll straight away come to the topic Web3 and the tokenization era of ownership economy. Then we'll go for fintech and digital finance and decentralized finance. Then we'll quickly have a bit of idea and thoughts on advent of neo-banking. Then we'll go for DeFi and neo-banking together. Then we'll go for DeFi and fragmented ownership for capital asset creation. Finally, we'll reach to Finternet. Now, let me tell you, Finternet, if one has to understand Web3 and FinTech. Without that, getting into Finternet as a subject would be difficult. So that's why more than half of the period of today's presentation of about 1 hour 15 minutes, that is about 75 minutes, I'll be spending by talking to you. And then we'll open the session for interaction, and CMAs and all the other participants will be able to write their questions on the chat box, and Madam Indrakshi will help us to throw the questions, read the questions on behalf of all of you. You may also can open your video if permitted by the organizers, and then we will interact on your questions. The Finternet area will be essentially talking about 4 bullet points: introduction to the working paper, present global financial system, certain observations, Finternet, the vision statement of Internet, and high-level architecture of Finternet. So that is what will be our presentation of the evening, and I will be expressing my gratefulness to all the solution designers and graphic designers whose graphics I'll be using quite a lot, and I'm extremely grateful to them. And these graphics are being used not for any commercial purpose, but for propagation of knowledge. Participants, I'll be happy to share with you that I am available on LinkedIn. I have about 20,200, I repeat, 20,200 connections in LinkedIn. So if you remain connected with me, we'll be able to share our mutual knowledge through LinkedIn and get to know and enrich ourselves. I'm also having my presence in YouTube in the form of my own channel. You will be able to see about 64 videos there, most of which are on digital technology. And finally, I'm also available in Twitter. This is my book. It was first published in 2022. I'm expecting that this will be the enlarged edition will be published very soon in June 3rd week or so, 4th week or so. This is what Dr. Chattopadhyay was speaking to you about, various contributions of mine in Institute's journal under the digital transformation column. This month I have written my 55th paper. This time I have written on insurance tech. If you come to my YouTube channel, this is the speech of mine in the World Blockchain Summit in Moscow. This is in World Internet Summit, Internet-based summit during COVID time on crowdfunding, and this is one of my talks to a group of scholars in Germany, Hamburg University. So these are some of my contribution, and I will expect to remain connected with you through LinkedIn, and it will help us to mutually learn. Now let us quickly get into the subject of digital transformation. Let me tell you, we are having at the moment predominantly 8 major technologies of the world, that is blockchain, drones, I'm talking about digital technologies, Internet of Things, robots, 3D printing, virtual reality, augmented reality, artificial intelligence, and varieties of developments have come to the world so far. Blockchain is now almost on its fourth version. Internet has developed into artificially intelligent Internet of Things, robotic Internet of Things, industrial Internet of Things, etc., etc. Robots and robotics are advanced with the help of intelligent robots, with the help of artificial intelligence. 3D printing, of course, don't have much area in the Finternet area and applications, but that is also helping in the area of real estate. Virtual reality is a very interesting subject, including augmented reality and the new subject which has come, metaverse. These can be also used so far as fintech is concerned. And finally, artificial intelligence, which can be present in any of the software transactional platforms. Essentially, you can see there are double stars. YOLO's background, of course, it was. Now you can see the white background, but the blue star technology that can be simultaneously applied. That means those are integration possible for these technologies. That means blockchain can be integrated with artificial intelligence, metaverse can be integrated with blockchain, and drones can be integrated with blockchain, robots can be integrated with blockchain. So blockchain is a transactional platform to which many things can be integrated. And in so far as transactional platforms is concerned, because finance essentially deals on financial transactions, blockchain perhaps is going to be the main fundamental technology on which the fintech will reside. Now, when we talk about digital transformation, anything and everything in today's world, unless and until it is an intranet, everything is being delivered through internet. Now, when you talk about internet, Indrakshi, can you listen to me? Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible, sir.
Okay, so internet is essentially residing on three items from technology perspective and two items from the user's perspective. The technology perspective is the internet of ideas, where technologies and solution builders use the technology, apply their innovative mind, apply their radical design thinking mind and strategic thinking mind, and they ideate some solution. Then through the transactional system, millions and jillions of data are utilized. Those data are further processed through the application of cognitive intelligence tools. And finally, a lot of insights are drawn from these systems, from the data, and then it helps us to design the future strategies and future solution. And finally, we deliver. In the process of internet delivery, we use a lot of Internet of Things. So the major Internet of Things is our mobile phone. Then we have, of course, a lot of sensors and a lot of other small equipment and processors which are helping us. Like in our car, there is a virtual computer, and insurance companies are using Internet of Things inside the car for determination of premium based on driver's behavior and routes taken. Finally, is the Internet of People. That means with the stakeholders at the front end of the internet, and at the back end of the internet is the corporate organizations or the solution designers, solution providers, transactional people, and the service providers and the operators of actual business propositions. But all this Internet of People, Internet of Ideas, Internet of Things, and Internet of Data is essentially dependent of Internet of Behavior. This is very, very important. Internet of Behavior is accessible from the data, Internet of Data, after a lot of transactional data is generated. But Internet of Behavior also can be understood the way a person is using the front-end phone-based application. What is there in the back end? Even in the back end, there is a portal, or there is a blockchain technology, or there is banking financial systems. A general common man is not aware of, but the common man is looking for simple things. So Internet of Behavior is a very important thing to monitor, track, and to make the solution simple. it is important for us to understand and appreciate the Internet of Behavior. From the perspective of business, anything and everything done through Internet has to stand on the pillars of trust, shared value proposition. Here, shared value proposition means not only will give the benefit of conducting transactions and the benefit of use, but if we save a lot of values as a business or financial organization, we should share a portion of the value being saved or value being generated by reduced cost or price. Value experience, of course, very, very important, because I, as an user of Internet or FinTech or DeFi or SeFi, whatever I'll be using, I would be experiencing a value. I will see that it is serving my objectives and purposes, then only I'll be using it. Ease of application, of course, without an ease of application, no one will be able to get through, and the very basic objective will be go away. And FinTech is dependent upon attracting more and more people, and Finternet essentially talks about people at the center. It's a people-centric. And finally, sustainability. So from the perspective of business, we have a couple of points which you should always remember for anything we deliver or anything we transact through Internet. One is business, second is customer, third is product, fourth is stream network, fifth is promotion, sixth is development, seventh is budget, and finally analysis to do further better. And the time thread for all these points is the strategy. So at the end of the day, every organization must have a digital policy. Of course, like digital computer technology policy, you should have a digital policy, but you must be having a digital strategy framework drawn from the business operations of today, going forward, drawn from data you generated once again, understand people's behavior, and understand how Internet of Things are functioning and what else has to be done going forward. So when you go to digitalization or digital transformation is the most misunderstood word in this world. I will clear it to you. Digitalization starts with people, and it starts with technology. So technology brings people and data in front. When technology-based solutions are used by people, transactional data is created. Now, when data science as a technology is applied to this data, you get insights from the data, how the customers are behaving, whether any value experience is taking place, or a CRM is doing well, or essentially you are generating any value, your ease of doing business, etc., etc. So people plus technology, you get the transactional data. Transactional data plus data processing and data science, you get the insights. Now, from insights, when you process the people and culture, you get into the operations, and people to data to insights to action. Action here means strategy-based action, because data you have already analyzed and drawn insights from that. So now you put the insights into action through digital solutions, and from digital solution you get the results, and the process is repeated once again. The whole process is revisited once again. So essentially, digital transformation means application of digital technologies for transformation of business and revenue generation. So any digital transformation project starts with innovation, then comes the digitization, that is conversion of people-centric work to machine and process-centric work. And then comes the digitalization, when human interventions are taken away and robotic process automation type of systems and solutions are being introduced. You call that you have completed digitalization. Digitalization is a stage where the digitization of these systems, processing and record building helps us to carry our business in a much efficient and human simplified manner, with or without human intervention, with or without robotic process intervention, with or without intervention of robots. But there is a huge lot of difference between digitization and digital transformation. Digitization does not necessarily mean you are creating new business models or new revenue models. But digital transformation, when we talk about, we are not talking about digital transformation of business processes. Digital transformation of business processes actually digitalization. The moment digital transformation of business takes place, you generate new business models and you generate new revenue model. Example, assume that you are checking out after buying an Apple phone, which is a very common example I give everywhere, Apple phone, and you are trying to check out from the Amazon.com site or any other web e-commerce website. Now, this particular e-commerce site can take you to a banking site, and you can get a prompt. You want to achieve, you want to avail of loan from the banks. Now, the moment you say yes, I'm ready to take a loan from the banking system, the Amazon.com or the e-commerce site will take you straight away. Amazon.com or e-commerce sites will straight away take you to the banking site. Bank will say, are you a customer of mine? You will say, no, I may not. So you open the various data in 2-3 minutes time and documents for your KYC completion if you are not already a banking same bank's customer. And the bank will process your application on the basis of the documents you have uploaded. And robotic process automation will ensure that your loan is sanctioned within a few minutes time, 2-3 minutes time. And Amazon is again informed back, hey, that your customer's money has been sanctioned by us by your consumer loan, and you are now allowed to check out to the loan, and your goods will be delivered at your residence. So what is happening? The bank has digitalized itself in terms of all systems and processes. Bank is now generating a new revenue model and a business model where bank is not doing anything. 1 o'clock midnight, somebody is buying an Apple phone, and two systems, the bank e-commerce system and the banking systems, are operating together in an integrated manner, and a fintech transaction is getting generated. It is a loan given by banks for a purchase being done from an e-commerce site. And why it is called digital transformation business? Because it is a new line of business and a new revenue model. So one can say that digital transformation is not at all a lipstick project or a destination to be done. It is not a Me Too project that somebody else is doing digital transformation, so I have to also do. It is essentially a continuous journey, because technology is evolving every day. Like you have heard about Web 1, then Web 2, then Web 3, and now it is Finternet. In between there was FinTech. Of course, FinTech and Finternet will always jointly exist. So that's what it is. But before we go into anything, we must talk about ethics, because digital technology without ethics doesn't mean anything. So in the digital world, ethics has got 3 major domains. One is the physical domain, other is the cognitive domain, and third is the information domain. When cognitive domain and information domain intersect each other, we get the computational ethics. When cognitive domain and physical domain intersects each other, we get the robotic machine ethics. When physical domain and the information domain intersects with each other, we get computer ethics or ICT ethics, information and communication technology ethics. Physical domain gives us the technological ethics. Cognitive domain gives us the artificial intelligence ethics. And information domain gives us the information ethics. So these 3 ethics, when it intersects each other, you get the robotic machine ethics, you get the computer ethics, and you get the computational ethics. When computer ethics, robotic ethics, and computational ethics internet each other, you get the digital ethics. So friends, I draw your attention to this taxonomy, which is very, very important for any cost and management accounting participating any digital transformation or even digitalization project. Please remember this slide of mine, that Physical domain ethics, cognitive domain ethics, and information domain ethics. These are very, very important. So every company should have a digital ethics statement and digital transformation ethics statement, and that should be followed, tracked, monitored on a regular basis. Architecture and scripting, that depends upon the computational ethics. And in today's world, scripting domain is not there. And I draw attention of CMA, Mr. Chattopadhyay, who is the chairman of the Banking and Insurance Committee. Mr. Chattopadhyay, are you with us? Can you listen to me? Can I give
Yes,
you
yes, I'm here.
one
I'm here.
simple addition? You have heard about medical jurisprudence, right? So I will request you to give you a course on digital jurisprudence. Digital jurisprudence is that every single person dealing with digital technology should know about the laws and regulations of the country. And unless digital jurisprudence is there in the minds of people who are dealing with it, they will not be able to do justice to ethics and do justice to what they are going to deliver for people and all stakeholders from the perspective. So digital jurisprudence is very, very important for you to understand. Here I mean you read about 15 digital laws, rules and applications applicable to India. And I will also urge upon you to read the law of Europe, which is GDPR, General Data Privacy Rules, which is also very, very important. Now I will get into Web3, and when I get into Web3, I will get you through the journey of telecommunication technology and computer technology together. That's why today nobody calls it computer technology, nobody calls it communication technology, everybody calls it ICT, information and communication technology, because today 99% of the solutions which are getting generated by a computer are getting delivered through a network, and networks are generally run by telecommunication technology. And we have come to know in COVID time, even people who are already working in an intranet situation, that is within the office or within the company network, they have also started participating through external communication technology network. So understanding the external communication technology network is very, very vital and important. So before we get into the Web3 and the communication technology network, let me tell you one thing, that essentially when you are integrating the communication technology and the computing technology, you are essentially doing convergence of technology. And our industrial revolution from 1770 to 1890 and 1970, communication technology came to India. Essentially what you have seen, that right from the era of steam power to electrical power for mass production, mechanical engineering always been integrated with electrical engineering for mass production. Even in the digital era also, we are having blending of digital technology. We are having GPS with us. Which is again an internet-based solution. We are having smartphones, and we are having innovation playgrounds. So essentially, Web3, FinTech, and Finternet, these essentially talks about successful integration of technology. And one of the simple understanding of successful integration of technology is robots. Robot is a combination of 4 technology: mechanical, electrical, electronic, and control technology. Mechanical, electrical, electronic, and control technology. All 4 technology gives you a physical robot. So it is mechatronics. Similarly, when we are talking about Web3 and FinTech and Finternet, we are essentially talking about integration of several technology. And these technologies are giving a systemic shift This technology is giving a systemic shift to the human civilization, and it is changing the human society and changing the way of living life. I impress upon the word way of living life. Mankind stands on the threshold of similar opportunity with financial services and UPI, which is every nook and corner and street of India. It is one of such integration facility which you have seen, internet-based facility with banking system and a platform called Unified Payment Interface. Now, this is driven by increasing economic aspiration as countries and people are growing. The aspirations of people are also growing. Regulatory agencies are also equally working with all solution designers and the applicators, and they are trying to regulate because in our human society, there are people who are using technology for ulterior purposes. And finally, universal access, the proliferation of smartphones. Smartphones have given us universal access, and this universal access is helping people to participate and join in the new world of P2P economy, B2B economy, P2C economy, C2P economy, and whatnot. And at the end of the day, anywhere and everywhere, there is an application of artificial intelligence, which is helping us to understand the insight from the data and helping us to take things in a much better way, do some routine mundane work of human being through computer by using technologies like optical character recognition, natural language model, and so on and so forth. So essentially, friends, what I'm trying to drive through this site is that digital transformation, fintech, and Finternet essentially is an integration of technology and finally delivery through Web3. Finally, delivery through Web3. Now, what is Web3? Now, if you see the movement of the journey since 1990 of the world, which is about 34 years now, we saw the era of computer coming to common human being. I'm talking particularly of underdeveloped and developing economies. Of course, in Europe, in 1960s, computers came, but there were not mass utilization was there, Europe and US. But generally, let us assume that mass utilization started in 1980. Then we saw the personal computer or the desktop computer era in 1980. At that point of time, the world was working with intranet. That means through LAN, internal LAN basis computers were working and talking to each other. We got the Web 1.0, that means wireless telecommunication technology. We got Web 1.0 sometime in 1990 and 2000. Web 1.0 gave us an economic system which is called information economy. At that point of time, if you remember, we used to get only our emails. We used to get yellow pages. It was a one-way communication. One-way communication means you get the information through internet, but you cannot write anything back on the same page or on the same sheet, like today's Facebook. Somebody posts something and you can give a comment. If you give a comment, the person who has posted, he can give his comment or like it. So it's a interactive and communicative technology that was not possible when Web 1.0 was there. But of course, it was an information economy because we used to get a lot of information and it gave us the email technology. Then came the Web 2.0 in 2000 and 2010. Web 2.0 gave us the platform economy. Today's e-commerce, today's Swiggy, today's Uber, today's Ola, these are all Web 2.0 based. That means somebody puts something into a front-end app. On the front end, I can put some information and that information goes back to the solution provider. He can process the information and send back me some information. I can do payment by internet banking. Internet banking came with the Web 2.0. And Web 2.0 was a 2.2-way communication, and in that communication, we could also put some mostly digitalization of pictures, etc. got proliferated during the period of Web 2.0, and Facebook started and all kinds of social media started. Web 3.0 is called the platform or ownership economy. Ownership economy. This is the era of fragmented ownership, means whatever I do through the digital solution and platforms, it pertains to my own ownership. My own ownership. I can buy a cryptocurrency and I can have my wallet, and in that wallet I have my ownership, my asset with me. It was expected that Web 4.0 will come by 2020. How the Web 4.0 will look like, no one knows as of now. I'm sure somewhere in the technology labs of the world, Web 2.0 or Web 2.0 and Web 3.0 is being used for developing the Web 4.0. But essentially, in between, something good happened. We got the broadband. Information technology, not communication technology, was proliferating jointly with Web 2 communication technology and computation technology. That means information technology and computational technology. Information technology, carrier of the computational technology was the information technology, where information used to move through the delivery of communication technology. Now, communication technology or information technology is also called computational technology. So let's not confuse between two C's. Computational technology or information technology got the benefit of riding on the wires, cables, and wireless network of communication technology, and this communication technology gave us broadband. It gave us mobile handheld fold computing because we got into digital phones, and we got Web 2.5 and we got real evolution methodology. So essentially, fintech started with Web 2.0 when we got mobile banking, etc. And now we are on Web 3.0. And at this point of time, Web 2.0 and 2.0 help us to develop blockchain technology from 2009 with Satoshi Nakamoto starting the Bitcoin in 2009. So essentially 2009 is almost starting point or co-invention point of both Web 2.0 and the cryptocurrency based on the first ever known blockchain technology came with the Web 2.0. So essentially, if we can summarize, we got the platform economy only on 2.0. Before that, only we had information economy. With platform economy, we got the blockchain technology where we got the cryptocurrency, and now we are on Web 3.0, which is the platform economy. Now, if you do a comparative analysis, Dibendu, am I audible?
You are audible. You are very much audible. You are very much audible.
I hope, Mr. Chattopadhyay, I hope things are going in the right direction.
Absolutely, fascinating. It's a fascinating experience. Please carry on.
Now let us quickly have a comparative analysis of Web 1.0 to Web 2.0 to Web 3.0. Web 1.0 gave us the reading facility only, Web 2.0 gave us the read-write facility, and Web 3.0 gave us the read-write and owning facility. How it is owning facility, I'll explain to you as I progress. Then user data Web 1.0 was based on cookies, which were only one party used to control. Now Web 2.0, you can do third-party control. When you open the websites of some of the established players like Deloitte, PwC, or MIT Sloan, or any other responsible website developer or user, you will say, we use cookie. Do you accept our cookies fully, or you accept only for this purpose you are using, etc. So cookies were there, and portable and personal ownership economy came in. That means user data became portable and user data became personal because you can have your own data in your own wallet. Then came the medium. Web 1.0 was a static medium. Web 2.0 is the interactive medium, and Web 3.0 help us to establish the virtual economies. Here lies the revolution. That means more and more financial transactions started being transacted not only with the help of Web 2.0 based one-sided control by this banking system or any other solution provider. He was to be whole and sole controller of the all data and processes and system. The moment blockchain technology came and the smart contract technology came, the virtual economies helped us to have control given into the smart contract, and the solution designers role reduced down to only maintenance. Organization, originally Web 1.0 was companies, Web 2 was platform based, and Web 3 is a community based. That means Web 2.0 was back to front approach. That means company to customer approach. And Web 3.0 is front to back approach. That means what the customer wants, first think of that. After that, you go to your backend and design your backend based on the need of the customer. Infrastructure, it was personal computer, cloud-based computing and mobile, but now blockchain cloud. Web 3.0, as I was telling you previously, Web 3.0 is predominantly blockchain based. Control is completely decentralized now, and Finternet is essentially talking about this in a big way. And ad spend, user engagement is the main thing in ad spend. Here the ad spend, say people like Facebook used to collect advertisement from the people who used to advertise in their websites based on customers clicking each ad. Now it is not only based on the customer clicking the app, it is user engagement basis. That means fructifying into business. So Web 3.0 is essentially a revolutionary development, and this revolutionary development came up with successful integration of information technology and communication technology. With information technology, another branch came out, that is the digital technology. So information technology no longer today remain only the computational methodology, but also it gives you a lot of digital methodologies and digitalization based methodologies which help you to do business, help you to do robotic process automation, help you to read a document and without human intervention directly pick up information and fill up forms, etc., etc. So Web 3.0 is essentially a peer-to-peer network-based technology with decentralized apps. It gives you a P2P network. The reach is very high. It is when you get into work into a P2P network given by blockchain technology, you essentially enter into the platform with a private key, and as you declare your transaction, you are known by a public key, not by your name, phone number, or mail ID. So in a blockchain-based P2P network used by Web3, your privacy is not known to anybody. You are known by a 31 letter or character or 40 character long word, which is alphanumeric and special character, whatever it is. So it's a public key. So main platform of Web 3.0 is blockchain, and the main intelligent point is that DDSM, distributed data storage management system. There used to be a criticism against a blockchain that it's an electricity guzzler, because every single transaction data is kept by every single participant's node, and every single transaction has to be approved by a large number of miners, which is actually applicable only for cryptocurrency based blockchain applications. But when you go for enterprise solutions or business transactional solutions within blockchain, that guzzling of electricity is gone, and that wide storage of every transaction in everybody's node or everybody's computer. That means if there are 1,000 participants in a blockchain, all 1,000 participants, all transaction, that means 1,000 into X. This X 1,000 transaction is there in the storage system of every single participant, which is a huge digital space and computer space and digital technology and electricity consuming place. Now the wallet system of information giving has come, and of course the blockchain cloud has also come. Of course, whatever wallet system or blockchain cloud, the main point, which is encryption, that is every single transaction of blockchain technology is encrypted, continuous. So the use case essentially in Web3 gave you the complete authority to design your economy. So you can do whatever you want to do. It's a created economy. That means if you create a solution, if that solution gives you a financial transaction facility or create new financial transactions, which I will explain to you very soon, in the form of something called digital twins or non-fungible tokens or protection of intangible rights. Today we are listening to YouTube music without even paying for ₹1, and you are essentially exploiting the singer who has sung. He is not getting any money for creating that beautiful melody. The singer and the music composer, they are not getting anything. Blockchain economy can protect all these things. It can give you decentralized science, that in Web3 you can do a virtual operation sitting in America, and doctor with a robotic process automation can do a virtual operation of a patient. Robot will do the physical part of it. A student sitting in at home, he can observe a virtual physics laboratory or chemistry laboratory. Decentralized browser, etc. is in any case there. So social media is there, gamification is there, plenty of applications are there in digital finance. Next gen applications are of Web 3.0 is dependent on decentralized applications, meta spaces and metaverse, near or real virtual marketplaces. That means you can create a virtual marketplace. You may be happy to know that Switzerland, UK and Gibraltar has already developed their stock exchange based on blockchain technology. It will be a completely digital wallet-based stock exchange. You don't have to bother for your wallet being maintained by NSDL or CDSL. You will be maintaining your wallet in your own computer. So there will be no need of demat account going forward, most probably. Privacy, safety, security, and most importantly, zero knowledge proof. That means for every transaction, like you are giving today an Aadhaar card, your bank ID, your address proof, etc., nothing is required. Once for all, if you do one thing, and your data will be continuously accessed by the system, which is not a human-oriented system, which is smart contract-oriented system, and smart contract will be developed with an encrypted and pre-scripted methodology of zero knowledge proof. That means you don't have to give any proof of anything. System algorithms will ensure that the transaction passes through without bothering you much. If you want to showcase your product or service through a virtual media, somebody can see it in a 3D video or a metaverse video. You are selling a house or selling a car, one can do and see it, and that can also be hosted in blockchain. So essentially, a next-gen application of Web3 will create a virtual economy in terms of platform come fragmented ownership economy. Now let's get into gradually get into the next step, which is the digital finance and DeFi. Friends, I'll stop at 5:30 and then we'll start interaction. So I'll now get into fintech, and without, as I was telling in my introductory talk, without understanding communication technology, Web3 and fintech, the Finternet, perhaps one will not understand. I don't want to start talking on fintech right now unless we get into understand that what is the present nature of fintech in the world and participants, you are from India, you are the blessed lot, rather we are the blessed lot. The paper which has been produced for Finternet, it talks about that in some places of the world, money is still stored under the pillow when they sleep. There is no access to banking methodology. I'm talking about some countries, without naming them in this webinar. They are still not having access to even normal financial transaction. Full mobile access is not there. So Finternet is trying to develop a fintech which is completely integrated. Let's wait for some more time and talk about it later. So Finternet start with digital finance. That means finance is converted into digital finance. Now let me get into this money flower. I'll request you to carefully be with me. A money flower has got 4 petals. The first petal is the central bank. Second petal is the electronic. Third petal is the universal accessibility, and fourth petal is peer-to-peer network. Now, if a central bank issues any fiat currency or virtual currency, it is against a central bank reserve, right? And if central bank issues any currency which is not electronic, which is beyond the electronic domain, it is fiat currency, physical cash, right? If anybody issues any currency which is not backed by central bank, because central bank's domain is finishing here. If the electronic money in a peer-to-peer domain, which Satoshi Nakamoto did for Bitcoin, it is cryptocurrency. It is not backed by central bank. It is created in a peer-to-peer network by a group of people through a technology. So the electronic domain is there. This blue petal is there, but it is beyond the central bank domain. That's why it is called cryptocurrency. Now, if a central bank issues money which is in a peer-to-peer network, that is this blue platform and this yellow, it becomes central bank cryptocurrency retail. So we are on now CBDC. Central bank digital currency is equal to central bank cryptocurrency. Why? Why it is central bank cryptocurrency or CBDC? Because the platform through which this digital rupee is transacted is a blockchain platform, and all transactions are encrypted. That is why it is called cryptocurrency retail. Similarly, if it is not a peer-to-peer network and it is a central bank currency, it is an electronic currency, but it is in a bank-to-bank network, or is in a business-to-business, business-to-bank network, then it becomes a cryptocurrency wholesale. So digital rupee is in the form of a fiat currency, is issued, not digital rupee, digital fiat currency. It is issued by the central bank. It is in electronic form. It is universally accessible, and it is in the form of a encrypted tokenized money. So any one of you who has already got central bank digital currency retail token in your mobile phone, I at least have one of ICICI Bank. I have a 500 rupees token in my wallet. That means I can pay out of this token. And I'll tell you, retail central bank digital currency transaction has started in India. And last year, that is 2024 March, it has increased 35 times in India. Of course, it's a pilot run. 35 times increase has happened. And of course, quantum of money is not more. Central bank digital currency in India is not, it is a fintech, but this is not becoming popular in India because of one single reason, that Indian common people have got a very simple product in their hand, which is UPI. एक दो टिक क्लिक बनाओ और आपकी पैसा दूसरे के घर पे दूसरे की बैंक पे पहुंच गया. So essentially what we are talking about digital finance. Digital finance enables financial services to be accessible to understand populations in areas that lack the physical infrastructure to render the services. So if you do not have a physical bank, like Bill Gates said, we need banking, but we don't need banks. I repeat, Bill Gates said that we need banking, but not banks. The digital finance made it possible for us. I don't know when I have gone to my bank last. So it's a peer-to-peer network, online banking network, or it is a business-to-business network. In fact, through your mobile banking service, you can get investment advisory also. So essentially, you can also break the national barrier. That means now, if you go to Singapore, you will be able to pay to your Singaporean merchants by your own GPay without opening any other banking account or GPay account for Singapore itself, because the UPI has been linked to Singaporean banking system. That's why Indian UPI has been taken by 18 countries so far. So essentially, it is essentially a decentralized finance. Essentially, decentralized finance is a peer-to-peer network. This is a peer-to-peer network. This is a peer-to-peer network, and at this set, each peer you can transact with your friend. You can transact with your friend, which is this picture, and this man can transact with this man can transact with this man, and now it can go to the world level also. And this is a network where you have to essentially come to the bank. So this is a CBDC network essentially, but in CBDC network, though bank is the central repository of your money, and you having the wallet, you can do peer-to-peer network. So if you are talking about a CBDC, it is essentially a combination of these two. So decentralized finance is a situation where there is no central controller. Decentralized finance aims at democratization and replace the legacy. That means for anything and everything, you don't have to go to bank. In a CBDC environment, banks will be an agent only. Bank will not be having the transaction authority except the foreign currency. It is a peer-to-peer relationship. This is what is the peer-to-peer relationship. And from everyday banking, loans and mortgage to complicated contractual relationship and asset trading. That means in a peer-to-peer network, when the investment banking in terms of buying shares or buying bonds, etc., also digitalized to blockchain technology, I think the peer-to-peer network will not remain restricted to only financial transaction, but also it will go to security transaction. So fintech is that setup. So if you want to define fintech now, fintech is that set of digital technology that enable rendering financial services with decentralized finance and digital finance. So this is what essentially is fintech. And let me tell you, India is one of the front three runners in the fintech industry, and Finternet as a subject has been ideated not only for developed countries in terms of technology like India, but also very underdeveloped countries in some African countries or some Asian countries who are not still developed in terms of DeFi, decentralized finance, and DeFi, that is digital finance. So what you have seen in the form of digital deliverables is your credit card, your ATMs, your application program interface, that is your UPI, your e-wallet, your POS terminals when you go to a shop and pay by credit card, and internet and mobile banking. These are essentially digital finance deliveries. Digital finance solution framework essentially works on point of solution. Kahin khada hoke without going to bank, you do the transaction. Everything is automated. Artificial intelligence is applied for today. You can do an eKYC. Blockchain technology is applied with a smart contract, and digital operations are conducted. So essentially, you can see it's a journey going on. It is a journey going on from a point of solution credit card. Today, you are having digital operations. Essentially, the journey is on. Fintech journey is on, and fintech journey is developing day by day, and it will continue to develop. So this slide is very important, which is called the digital finance cube. or DeFi cube. In the DeFi cube, one side of the dimension is digital financial technologies. Other side of the dimension is digital finance institutions, financial, and third side of the is digital finance or business functions. So business functions have to be supported by decentralized finance in a peer-to-peer network with fragmented ownership with decentralized financing. So from the technology perspective, the front runner is blockchain. Next is the social network. In fact, Google is essentially a social network. Non-fungible tokens, coins you can take fungible coins. It's a P2P technology. I can send to CMA Chattopadhyay money without issuing an instrument issued to me by bank, that is a checkbook. No, I didn't need it. Big data analytics, everything you do, every transaction you do, all data will be stored. Data is the digital gold of this present world. You can draw inferences at data. You can do corrections of your software, make things more simpler, and it becomes further enabler. At the digital financial institution perspective, you have fintech companies and you have trade service providers. Various type of service providers. You have stock exchange will be coming in, mutual fund will be coming in, bond sellers will be coming in, central bank will come in with CBDC, anything and everything. What are the things will be done because of digital finance, digital financing, digital investment, digital money, digital payments, digital insurance. In fact, CMA is present in this meeting today. My June month's article, which will be published within another 2-3 days time in the management accountant, I've written about DG InsurTech. I have written about this technology. If you want to know more. So insurance technology comes under fintech. In fact, InsurTech technology is more fintech plus some of the insurance science and insurance operation systems are also there in InsurTech, and financially digital advice. It could be through a chatbot, it could be through a robot also. This is, of course, it is a controversial area because if you take a robot's advice or if you take a chatbot's advice and tomorrow you lose money and you make a court case, whether the bank is responsible or the software writer is responsible or the robot as an inhuman subject responsible, all these things are still unsettled. So digital financial advice is still an area a little grayish. The benefits of fractional ownership, which I want to talk to you as of now, it means that suppose you have a big building and the value of this building is 10 crore. You can do a fractional ownership. Each of us can be one shareholder of this 10 crore. So there can be 10 crore token holders for a 10 crore worth of physical assets. So fractional ownership is possible to fintech. I will explain this in a different slide, though since it's not very important from the fintech perspective, I'm not discussing this here, but just get to know one very latest information is that we used to have one unit is equal to 1 BTC, which is equal to $1. As you know, more than 23 million Bitcoin cannot be issued. The system has got a restriction. So BTC is now seriously thinking of fractional BTC, which will be 1 cent Bitcoin. So this is at the moment in the thinking stage. I do not know whether it has been put to action. So, but fractional ownership is one of the major contribution of digital technologies, which I'll explain to you a little soon. So now I'm gradually getting into Finternet, the digital finance readiness. This is a very important point from the perspective, or maybe this is the slide which driven the architects of Finternet to generate the idea of Finternet. Essentially, digital finance thrives on 6 major pillars. The first pillar is access to reach through a mobile infrastructure. Access to and reach through a mobile infrastructure. Second is adoption and reach of digital finance infrastructure. So access and then digital finance infrastructure. Third is very, very vital and important, that is called role of government and regulation. If this third would have not been there, Facebook would have started their cryptocurrency called Libra. And think of what would have happened if Facebook would have started their cryptocurrency called Libra. Facebook would have been a platform for giving money. Without, we could have sent money to USA from India using Facebook, and you could have avoided Reserve Bank in between, and foreign currency movement would have been so easy. So, and Facebook would have run a parallel global economy. So role of government and regulation is very, very vital. Sector analysis and challenges, because as you know, any technology, any solution, any business proposition is not without risk. So one has to be always on the toes and on the feet to think, monitor, track, change, improve, and follow these standards and code of ethics. Like aviation standard, every comma full stop is followed by every airlines. Assessment of financial service needs. As the days are going by, you could have never thought, in fact 30 years back nobody would have thought that 30 years down the line nobody will go to bank. Even 10 years down the line nobody thought. So 10 years from today, by 2034, what kind of digital solutions you will have, you never even know. Maybe today you are touching the phone and giving banking instruction, tomorrow you will just talk to the phone. So natural language or natural voice recognition system will do your banking. You don't have to even open the phone. Bank will listen to you and convert it into a transaction. Digital finance plus solution. Of course, I have not talked about vernaculars as yet. Every single digital solution, DiFi and DeFi, will be in local language. Like in India, it is very difficult. We have got 23 or 24. I really don't know the number. Nationally accepted languages. So vernacular based technology solution building is very important, and digital finance solutions and feasibility. So this is what is, whether every country is ready with this circle in terms of infrastructure, in terms of adoption and accessibility, in terms of government role, in terms of sector analysis and challenges, in terms of assessment of financial needs, and finally digital finance plus solution. Finternet as a subject which has come from this particular slide. As I go forward, you will come to know. Finternet has also come from this side, is that digital literacy versus financial literacy. Digital literacy union financial literacy, which you got, is digital financial literacy. Financial literacy more or less everybody has, in terms of knowing numbers and knowing little bit of mathematics and counting and multiplying, etc., and how much balance I have. This kind of support beneficial practices, etc. people have. If I today mutualfund.com, mutual fund sahi hai, this kind of advertisements are even giving us financial literacy in terms of investment literacy. But digital literacy in our country, it is quite a lot, but in many countries digital literacy are not there in terms of phones, etc. Another very important factor, Mr. Chattopadhyay, it is a very important piece of information. Fintech is to a large extent still dependent on SMS. You get through SMS, OTPs, etc. One of the most important development which people are thinking of, how the interventions of SMS and OTPs can be reduced. In a blockchain environment, you will not require any OTP, absolutely zero. So SMS is an issue which will be taken care of as we go forward. So digital literacy in India, it has developed after UPI coming in. Of course, financial literacy was of course quite large there, but digital literacy is developing. But don't accept and don't visualize the situation that In rest of the countries of the world, particularly underdeveloped and developing countries, this is the same, but we have to reach them fintech. So if we have to reach a fintech to those countries, Finternet is the solution which is being visionized at the moment. So these are the decentralized finance things. All of you are familiar with it. Present in this today's this thing. Can you listen to me? Dibendu, is my voice coming to you?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
very
We are
much.
listening. Sir, listening, sir.
Very much,
Okay.
very much, sir. Very much.
Okay. So all of us in India are at least aware of what is ATM, automatic teller machine, immediate payment system, RTGS, NEFT, Aadhaar enabled payment system. Of course, this is not very popular in India. UPI, quick response code. We are all every day we are taking using QRC, OTPs and CBDC. These are the lingos of fintech and digital finance. Indians are very aware, but not all in the globally. So I have almost talked about all this. So I'm skipping this slide. Blockchain, digital asset, digital wallets, P2P network, D-apps, and smart contracts. I've just summarized all the technologies here. Then coming to benefits of blockchain, this is not a class or webinar for blockchain, but just for information, these are the benefits of blockchain. These are the benefits of artificial intelligence. Blockchain is a very interesting technology which can have a layer of artificial intelligence and optical character recognition, machine learning, natural language modeling, big data analytics, generative AI, which is popularly known as chatbots, popularly known as chat GPT. All these things can be applied to the transactional data which are being generated by the blockchain platform. So any businessman, any solution designer, any policy maker, any government, if they have to go for next level of development, next level of regulation, next level of strategy, next level of advancement of technology, studying the past data and drawing insights from past data, what is helped is the digital finance, that is artificial intelligence. So these are the benefits. This is once again a slide for students to understand in one place what are the benefits of digital finance and custodian, non-custodial finance. I've already discussed all this, so I'm skipping this slide. I'm straightaway coming to neobanking. Neobanking and digital banking, these are not the two same thing. Neobanking is a challenger. Neobanks are causing disruptions by creating seamless digital experience. Today, if you have to open a new bank account, still some people go to bank, but neobanking is ensuring that you don't have to go to bank. They are operating as if it is the neobank here, and this is the banking side, and this is the people side. Neobanks as an intermediaries are operating as a custodian. Suppose today you are making payment to say Amazon.com. So a website, Amazon is himself a neobanker because Amazon is a payment integrator. But suppose you are making payment to any other, say you want to buy some masalas from JK Cart, or you want to buy some tea from Goodrick Tea Company. The moment you say that I want to pay by card, another screen will open in your computer, which is the payment aggregator screen, like Rejar Pay or Paytm. These are the people who are the neobankers. Of course, these are payment integrators. Essentially, a neobankers can be a full stack banker, or it can be a front-end neobanker, which is only a payment integrator. The difference between a neobanker and a traditional banker is that digital banks take a back to front approach. That means what they were doing previously on a brick and mortar banking system, today they are delivering that back to front. They are delivering to internet through digital financial technologies and digital financial solutions. So banks in India are having the license of Reserve Bank, and they are now packaging their solution in a digital format and delivering through internet. That is essentially a digital bank or a existing bank with a back to front approach. But the neobanks are no banks, no physical bank, challenge the legacy, front to back approach with innovative approach, minimize cost with advanced fintech, and it can have in India, there is no full stack license bank. Only Paytm type of bank has got payment banking license. There is no full stack banks in India, which is a neobank. But one of the benefits neobank is giving is that neobank are as it now giving SAS, that is software as a service. ICICI Bank is one of the first few banks in India which has given software solutions to their small customers. Then you can get into their systems and do order to cash transaction management, procure to pay transaction management, etc. So neobanks are not restricting themselves to only banking, but they're also extending their services to banking methodologies in terms of helping people to do their operations. So neobanking is essentially a layer in between, and there are many things I don't essentially want to explain to you. In fact, India has got 26% population attached to neobank, 43% population of Brazil is attached to neobank, and Ireland is 22%. But if you see this slide, India has got 371 million customers today attached to new banking system, whereas Brazil has got 93 million people attached to new banking system, although Brazil has got 43%, but India's population is high. But look at nowhere in this list you get United States here within the first list of 10 people. So neo banking, which is the call of the world today, is much behind, and Brazil is India leading the show. In terms of growth in neo banking, again you can see Philippines, Mexico, Portugal, United Arab Emirates, Malaysia, they are increasing, and United States is only at the 7th position with 15% predicted people with a neobank account. As of now, in 2027, people will be offering a new banking system account. So the world is not as nice as you can think of in terms of neo banking, where actually new paradigm of banking system has got generated, and traditional banking is going on through a digital mode. Traditional banking means what bank were doing in physical mode, they are now generating solutions and delivering through internet in digital mode. That's not neo banking. Neo banking is essentially a full stack banking through digital solution. What the customer needs, there from the solution designing starts, and banking is only the operations which are to be done under a central bank license. So now last point is your tokenization. Then I'll get into Finternet. Today, suppose a village needs a cold storage for a lot of food getting wastage or food getting immediately sold at a lower price because there is no cold storage. So this cold storage can be built by so many orchard owners. One may not have the money to build a cold storage, but thousands of such orchard owners can have a cold storage. And the value of this cold storage, construction cost of this value of this cold storage can be tokenized, and each one can be a token owner of this asset. So when a physical asset is converted into a tokenized asset, you can do a tokenization of the asset, and you can do fragmented ownership. And now this cold storage will value of this cold storage will increase in several ways. One, the cold storage will start operations, so it will earn profit. The value of the cold storage is increased, and the physical asset value also, like every building value increases every year. Similarly, the cold storage value also will increase every year. So these owners, suppose they purchased one token at 1,000 rupees. Tomorrow the one token may be valued as 1,150. So when I was talking about that fintech should generate shared value, this 150 rupees these people are getting only because of fintech helping them to do a partial ownership of a physical asset which they could have not thought of. Now fragmented ownership has come through blockchain, then only they are in a position to do it. So similarly, cold storage, warehouse, drones used for agriculture, agricultural equipment, tractors, schools, colleges, etc., agrotech centers, everything can be done through this thing. So I was talking to you, fragmented ownership through web has come. That is what it is. Now we will get into, this is crowdfunding. I'm not discussing that. Now we shall get into Finternet, and I'll spend about 15 minutes on Finternet, and at 17:40 I will close and we'll come into interaction. Sorry, 10 minutes have gone overturned in terms of talking. So the visionary statement of Finternet is to empower individuals and business by centralizing them in their financial lives. Centralizing them in their financial lives means the whole ecosystem of finance will be a part of the way of living of people. I repeat, the whole ecosystem of finance, right from banking to investment to cryptocurrency to central bank digital currency to insurance to mutual fund to everything, will be in a centralized interconnected network of finance. So that's what Mr. Jensen said, that anything that affects breaking social norms and the safety of people should be regulated. It would be very common sense to think. Let me tell you one thing. Many of you have gone to DG Jatra, right? DG Jatra. What is DG Jatra? DG Jatra is, there is an airlines involved in DG Jatra. Airlines. There is an Airport Authority of India is involved in DG Jatra. And all airports are not under Airport Authority of India. Some airports are owned by people like Adani, owned and run by people like Adani. So Airport Authority, so different players are there, and there is a airlines issuing ticket, airlines is there, and there is a civil aviation is a controller system. So these individual organizations are running their individual platforms for transactions and platforms for control systems. Now, how to integrate this? That is the major challenge. That's why DG Jatra, despite the software being there, it is only operational in a few websites. And on top of it, that if you take a airline, take a ticket and now check in, and this DG Jatra is an app which is run by another very interesting organization, DGF organization. This DG Jatra app is now having a scanner. Your airline's ticket is scanned by the DG Jatra, and then again as you proceed to board the aircraft, various systems are scanning your DG Jatra app from your telephone. So integration of at least these 4 platforms is very important and very crucial, and that is what is Finternet. Now let me tell you, Finternet as a subject has got generated from this book, from this paper, which was Bank of International Settlement has published in April 2024. So it is the latest technological thinking process in the world of digital finance, decentralized finance, and fintech. Now I'll do a bit of reading now because I don't want to distort the knowledge which this BIS paper has generated. Now, who are the 2 ideators of this Finternet? One is gentleman, Mr. Agustín Carstens. Mr. Agustín Carstens is an economist from Mexico, and Nandan Nilekani, who is our Indian techno giant. He was the founder of Infosys. These are the 2 gentlemen who has created this vision statement and ideated this paper of Finternet. Finternet is essentially a vision for multiple financial ecosystem interconnected with each other. That means insurance, banking, security buying, selling, equity buying, selling, foreign currency remittance, anything and everything you talk about. these things at the moment, stock exchange is operating a different platform. Insurance, each insurance company is having their own platform. Each mutual fund is having their own platform. Everything is disjointed. Now, like today, I'm connected with a professor of USA for my research work, but I cannot financially connect with him through one email. Now, the idea here is that if I have to do a transaction between that person and myself sitting in India, can we do that? Which is a Finternet, internationally operable Finternet. Or if I am connected, even a professor of IIM Kozhikode, and I want to pay to him, I can pay to an interconnected system called EPI. But if he wants to sell one equity share which is purchased, can he sell directly to me in a P2P network? No. He has to go to his broker bank, advise his bank will advise his broker in the stock exchange. The broker, two brokers of the buyer and seller will perform the transaction. Then CDSL will come to know, NSDL CDSL will come to know, they will transfer the wallet based stock. Once seller stock will go to the buyer stock, and the buyer's repository or depository will advise the banks, and bank will then advise me through the demat account. This is essentially a disjointed system, and Finternet talks about an interconnected system. It is designed to empower individuals and business. Why do I have to depend upon a broker or a banker for my transaction? It's an user-centric. I would like to do what I would like to do. I want to be under the standard and code of the government, fine, but I don't want to be under any whims and fancies of any private party. And I want access to everything. I want access to the stock exchange. Why not? Why only through broker? Like most of the frauds which has happened in cryptocurrency is because cryptocurrency buyers and sellers had to go through broker. And tokenization and unified ledger, I want a blockchain technology. Foster greater participation, offer more personalized service and improve speed and reliability. Foster greater participation, and let's not talk about India, talk about some African countries or countries where there is a digital divide. How people, instead of participating in different software platforms for different financial transactions, how they can just one app they can do everything. So foster greater participation, offer more personalized services and improve speed and reliability. The technology is on the vision. The technology needed to achieve this vision exists. That means Nandan, Nilekani and Mr. Carstens saying that all the technologies which needed to have an interconnected fintech system, interconnected fintech. What is the definition of Finternet? Interconnected fintech systems, it's Finternet. Like we are interconnected with each and every individual, fintech is not today interconnected. The day we do fintech interconnection, we call it Finternet. Nandan, Nilekani and these people are saying that, and Mr. Carstens is saying that all the technology is required for this is there existing. Blockchain, artificial intelligence, robotic process automation, IoT, IIoT, application program interface, everything is there. The paper provides a blueprint from how technical characteristics like this paper, this Finternet paper, which I showed you here. This paper, if you read, it provides how things should to be done in an interconnected system to establish what is to be established for greater participation on personalized service. One is interoperability. Two, blockchain should talk to each other. That means the central bank digital currency as a blockchain, or I want to sell mutual fund today and buy equity share from the stock market. Can I do that? Essentially today, no. I have to sell, put mutual fund, sell, collect the money in my bank through the system, and then conduct a purchase, and then payment does pay the money, which is of course something operated automatically. There should be auto verifiability. everything can be programmable. That means I don't want to just tick the boxes. If I want to do something differently, I should be allowed to do that program in the software. The software should give me some independence the way I want to do. So that is called programmability, and programmability is available in blockchain technology. It is available in blockchain technology. Programmability. I can decide what transaction I want to do. Immutability. It cannot be copied or it cannot be immuted anywhere. Finality. Whatever transaction I do, that is final forever. It cannot be changed. If it has to be changed, there has to be another transaction for correcting the previous transaction. Evolvability. That means evolvability means the technology should not be static. The technology should be continuously improving to serve the improved and advanced requirements of the society. The technology should be modularity. That means the technology should be module based. It should not be a jam or a mess of anything and everything. It should be modular, simple, understandable, and most importantly, it should be scalable. Particularly in the context of a country like India, even a village population or a district level population of farmers is a big number. Security and privacy. So Mr. Agustín Carstens and Nandan Nilekani, while they have propagated the theory of Finternet, they have said that all technology which are required for Finternet exist, but all these qualities which are to be put in one place into one platform for an integrated access giving and ease of application giving solution is not there. Even if it is there, it exists in silos. It is not interconnected. So Finternet talks about interconnected fintech. What are the global observation today about fintech? The widespread deployment of mobile and fast payment system has buying goods and service easier, cheaper, and more secure. Today, fintech is predominantly these are the observations of Mr. Carstens and Nandan Nilekani. Of course, I'll show you some data here, which I have picked up from their paper. Fintech is not doing a very preliminary kind of job, not advanced job. In some jurisdiction, verified digital identity system, that means it's being talked about India, that Aadhaar card of India, verifiable digital identity system, has helped to people to open millions and millions of bank transactions and open a lot of bank accounts. That because they have opened bank accounts, they have started the habit of insurance and saving. So that way, fintech and accessibility is helping people. There are two large examples are in India. It is there, and a couple of more countries are there, but it is not operating in every country. So you cannot say that fintech is integrated. In India also, fintech is not integrated, but in India, siloting only banking system is there, but not other technology is there. Even with countries, a lack of adaptive interconnectedness means that the different parts of the financial systems often do not talk to each other. This is what is the underlying message which Mr. Carstens and Mr. Nandan Nilekani is giving, that if the benefits of digital technologies are to be obtained, particularly in the domain of finance, interconnected systems are essential. Another observation is that failure to develop modern financial system, many cost. It's expensive. The government has to come. That's why I'm talking about participative development of things. Visible impacts are too long time to transfer assets. That means if I have to deal on physical assets or even virtual digital assets, it takes a lot of time. The moment I do tokenization today, if you have to register a building property or a landed property, is too much of a time. Tomorrow, if fintech is essentially going to do real estate. This is what Nandan Nilekani and Mr. Carstens has said, that one side is the banking system, asset management companies, privacy, public limited companies. The other side is the attesters, verifiers, lockers. These are the security system, and this is the banking systems, and this is the blockchain technology ledger. Even assets can be tokenized in the interconnected system. That means Mr. Nandan Nilekani and Mr. Carstens in their Finternet paper are trying to tell us tokenized equities, tokenized deposits, tokenized savings bank deposits. Not here does means that CBDC is tokenized. So you will be having a fiat currency, digital format of fiat currency. That will be the currency for your even fixed deposits and savings bank deposit. Tokenized central bank money. This is the tokenized central bank money. And this is a tokenized deposit cryptocurrency money and tokenized real estate. So as you go back, there will be insurance, there will be mutual fund, there will be equity, one after the other. So what Mr. Nilekani is saying that this is the banking system, this is the asset management company, these are the private public sector companies will be issuing debentures, bonds, and there will be mutual funds, there will be real estate operators, there will be RERA, or there will be rates and all kinds of things. Any guys who are issuing physical assets, financial assets, or intangible asset is in the one side. Other side is the regulatory people, attesters, verifiers, guarantors. That is also to an extent large not be required when blockchain comes in. Trust and value adapters. This whole thing can be taken over by blockchain through smart contracts. Like today, if you give Aadhaar card, as of now, the bank goes to the Aadhaar card software platform and fetches an information to know that the Aadhaar card is working well. And you do not know that banking system has already gone to Aadhaar card's platform and checked your Aadhaar card and found it is okay. That's how you are using also your DG app. So Nandan Nilekani is saying that the Finternet system, all these systems of everybody today operating as individual systems. It is not connected. So how to connect them? There should be e-banking, complete e-banking. Everybody should have his digital wallet. Everybody should have one financial app which they'll be able to use all kinds of financial transactions, and non-financial app, and this should be integrated. Either this should be integrated into one or should be interoperable through blockchain technology. And the net result of it is the integrated financial statement. So we need a digital infrastructure for identity management, digital signature management, electronic register systems, laws, regulations, rules, and other governance norms. This will be get into smart contract. So essentially they are talking about that what is happening in the emerging markets and the developing economies. The people who are even today making savings underneath their pillows, and people today who do not have access here underneath their mattresses, they are keeping their cash. Lack of access to financial service prevents people from increasing their incomes. Since financial services are not there, loan systems are not there, banking system are not accessible, people are not in a position to do their business. They are not in a position to exploit and expand opportunities, etc. It does mean that absence of an appropriate integrated financial technology platform, the world is not advancing. And this access, even if it is available in countries like in India, today all these accesses are silotic, and each one system is not operating to each one, and it's not integrated. So this is also one thing they are saying, that the data they have provided is of 2021 and 2017. This is the developed countries, advanced economies. They have got account ownership and active ownership. This is the red line is the account ownership. And here you can see active ownership and account ownership is almost going together. In case of emerging economies and developing economies, the account ownership and the active and the ownership and the active ownership, there is still a gap. In the insurance front, another example, in US, Canada, the percentage of population is covered higher. But emerging Asia Pacific countries and emerging Europe, Middle East and Asia, the insurance, even in advanced Asia Pacific countries, the insurance density or penetration is not high as it should be. In other words, I have recently written in my paper, which will come in June journal, that insurance is a subject which should be applicable to all, because in ancient civilization, people used to save for rainy days. Today, not insurance is the way for protecting our risk in future. And if not every population is covered in risk insurance system, I may not be able to take the insurance. Today, I'm dependent on a broker to take the insurance or a banking system to take the insurance. If that's why PolicyBazaar.com has come and given an insurance app on your app. But these PolicyBazaar.com and the banking system are into silotic system. They are not integrated to each other. So Nandan, Nilekani and Mr. Carstens is talking about, and this is the heart of this slide, Finternet is a multiple interconnected financial ecosystem that is designed to empower individuals and business by placing them at the center of the financial lives, lower the barrier between different financial services, drastically reduce the complex clearing and messaging chains. This clearing and messaging chain is the delaying agents. They should be reduced. Enable transfer any financial asset from any account at any time. That means if I want to transfer mutual fund also, I should be able to transfer to somebody. Ensure security with near instantaneous operation. Immediately I should be able to buy, sell. Recently, SEBI has done one-day transaction settlement. Earlier it was T+3. So these kind of things make available to anyone, ensuring financial inclusion by meeting the needs of currently underserved segments of the population. Underserved segment of the population. Enhance broader access as compared to what is available. Improve risk management and increase information available. So I'll stop here and give the this is what I have already talked about, the latest ideated innovation. So Finternet is now at the only ideation stage, and let me tell you one thing. You can hear me?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay,
absolutely.
So I will now stop sharing, and may I request Indrakshi to take me through the questions.
Yes, thank you so much, sir, for such a deliberate presentation. So we have many questions.
First, I would like to have one or two comments from CMA Chattopadhyay.
Sure, sir, sure, sir.
Sir, let me tell you, today amidst my meeting, I have just left the meeting, and when you started, I could not leave the laptop, and I have to ultimately continuously I'm listening your actually the way you have delved on this wave 101, wave 2, wave 3. And then you came to the, I was just excited to know when you'll be bringing your Finternet issue. And then I could understand.
I know that.
And the 10 commandments about which has been told by your Agustín, Carstens and your Nandan Nilekani. I will never forget all those, the first of all is on interoperability, then verifiability, then programmability, then immutability, finality, evolvability, then your modularity, scalability, security and privacy. It's a fascinating, these words I will.
And in one interconnected system.
Yeah. And most important thing that after listening to this, I was just my thirst was not quenching. And again, you have come to the ultimate that Finternet vision statement. So I could understand that what is going to be the future. and I'm really feeling very much, fortunate today to be here listening from you. And I'm sure all our participants, those who have joined and who will be going through this in the YouTube, they will be definitely, they should be mesmerized to listening your speech. And let me tell you, sir, we are the institute, perhaps, I think I have not heard anywhere that this sort of deliberations made on this type of particular topics, Web 3.0 and as also the Finternet. So I'm really feeling very much.
Let me tell you, CMA Chattopadhyay, hardly people understand what is the difference between digitalization and digital transformation. In fact, I should have spent 10 more minutes on that subject, but I thought it is a Finternet class. But one more comment I would like to say, when you said that I was itching when we will come to Finternet, unless you understand FinTech, you will not understand Finternet.
Absolutely.
And Finternet is just an idea today. The technology has not been done. It's just an idea. We need to do this, and Finternet should do this. Technologies are all present. We have to achieve this. That is what it's a statement of intent now. Finternet is a statement of intent today.
Yes.
Okay. Can we get into
another point I like to mention before you. This is also very important that you have given us suggestions. The suggestions you have given during your presentations, that digital jurisprudence, and this digital jurisprudence, I understand, sir, Digital Protection Act and other many acts which India has also come out with
14 such acts and regulations in India, excluding IPC and CRPC, which also takes into consideration this.
Thank you, sir. We shall be taking care of, and I'm really thankful to you for such a excellent deliberations you have done today.
Thank you.
Over to you.
Now I will go to the participant and take their questions. If you open Indakshi, the participant can open their video and ask me question also. That would be helpful.
No, it would not be video.
It is not permitted. Okay. Indakshi, could you please then give me the questions?
Sure, sir. Sure, sir. So after beautifully wrapped up the session by our chairman, sir, we have many questions from our participants. CMA Akhilesh Bhuchar, he has asked, as the technologies are developed more and more, the cyber crimes, particularly bank frauds, are increasing. Any safeguards to prevent such frauds?
Let me tell you, Finternet suggestion has come. Now I'll be answering every question from the perspective of Finternet. Most of the Finternet platforms which are being thought through are on blockchain technology. Till such time quantum computer comes, I repeat, till such time quantum computing comes, which can do in 10 minutes a job a computer can do in 10 years. Blockchain technology perhaps cannot be infiltrated by cyber criminals. So cyber crimes will be reduced to almost zero the moment transactional platforms go to blockchain. Let's visualize that all of us will be using CBDC, central bank digital currency, and all transactional platforms. Suppose I want to buy a stock for the first time in my life. If the stock exchange operates in a blockchain and I use CBDC, there is no question of banking coming in between. It is a direct wallet to wallet transaction. My money wallet to my security wallet. So according to me, criminal cybercrime, let's hope, visualize that 10 years down the line, no cybercrime will be there in a Finternet. But yes, today as criminals are running one step ahead, the solution designers, where they are also using artificial intelligence, and solution designers are also using artificial intelligence as guardrails against cyber crimes. So it's a cat and mouse game, and cat and mouse game will continue.
Okay. CMA GV Prasad, he has asked, what are the weaknesses of blockchain?
What are the
weaknesses of blockchain? Blockchain
riskiness.
Weaknesses.
No, sir.
Weaknesses of blockchain. Weaknesses of blockchain are predominantly four. First weakness of blockchain is interoperability. Means if I run a blockchain for say a stock exchange, and if you run a blockchain for central bank digital currency, you being central bank, these two systems are not interoperable. This is the first problem. The second problem is that smart contract designing of a blockchain requires a business manager, a lawyer, a technology specialist, and a coder. So integration of all these four knowledges, and particularly when I am doing an say exim export import blockchain technology platform, I need the laws and regulations of all the other countries with whom there will be transaction. So a global knowledge of laws, regulations are too much in demand today, and a liberal thinking is also too much in demand today. So in order to reduce, if you read the Finternet as a book, the suggestion which has been given that universal tariff codes type of regulations are needed to minimize the difference between different countries, like universal customs code, universal tariff codes, this kind of universality establishment, like universal aviation standards, universal financial reporting standard called IFRS. More and more such universal standards and codes will come. More and more dissimilarities will reduce, and blockchain smart contract designing will be easy. This is a second problem. Third problem is availability of technologists. So I request CMA Chattopadhyay, in fact, my request is pending for lock with the Central Council. You being a member, take my request. Let us develop a center for excellence in CMA Bhavan in Kolkata and Delhi. Blockchain Center for Excellence. We, India, need hundreds and thousands of blockchain technologists and hundreds and thousands of specialists who can develop smart contracts. This is the third one. The fourth one is scalability. Scalability needs investment, and scalability needs a lot of support in terms of language. So Indrakshi, to answer, summarize: scalability, interoperability, smart contract designing, and technologist. These are the four major hindering factors of blockchain. It is not a technology for digital transaction. It is a foundational technology. Harvard Business Research has proved that blockchain can change the foundation of an economy and foundation of a society. And the World Economic Forum has already estimated that 10% of the global GDP, which is roughly about $230 trillion, will be transacted to blockchain by 2030. So let's hope that Finternet vision statement and blockchain solution issues will be reduced and will reach a dream situation going forward.
Okay, sir, thank you. Again, he has asked a question on blockchain technology, which might be similar to this. Blockchain technology has come into existence way back, but it finds very limited users, buyers, applications. Maybe some simplifications or ease of operability is essentially required. What's your take on this, sir? So
your question is absolutely correct, and today blockchain is not a public word because hardly any backend platforms are there in today in blockchain technology. Most of the platforms are portal-based technology. That's why blockchain is not popular. But I'm sure blockchain will be popular once central bank digital currency retail wallet comes in. But let me tell you one thing, for the benefit of all the participants here, let me tell you one thing, that blockchain technology, whether it is behind or not, is only for your mental satisfaction that cyber criminalism will be less and perhaps zero. But rest of the things he will not even come to know that at the back end there is a blockchain platform, because he will be operating through a phone. What difference you will find when the blockchain comes is that yesterday or today you are following the dictate of the app. Tomorrow you will be able to also do something on your own on the app itself. Like today, when you go to kitchen, you have your all raw materials, you have your green fruits, your all your chicken, mutton, or all your spices, oil, and you go to enter the kitchen in the morning and decide today I'm going to eat this food, and you cook it. it's not a steady menu. Today, apps are steady menus. If you are into chicken masala, it is chicken masala. If you want to send money, you send money. But you can't distribute in one transaction. You can send 10 different people for 10 different directional things. So this kind of multi-dimensional app where the user of the app will have some programmability independence, that will come in blockchain.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. CMA Gunjan Baveja has asked about the blockchain's implication in the financial industry.
In the financial
Implication of
industry.
Yes, yes.
My dear friend, blockchain is going to be the future technology of financial industry. Call it stock exchange, call it mutual fund, call it bond market. In fact, SEBI has already started working in blockchain-based operations in the securities market. You'll be happy to know that Supreme Court of India is already working on blockchain-based management of legal documents and its verdicts, etc. So a lot of use cases, a lot of researches are going on, but that I told you now about smart contract scripting and interoperability, scalability are the things which are at the moment creating issues. But digital blockchain with a blockchain cloud is solving the problem. Overseas things are moving in India, and I hope that by 2030 we'll have quite a bit of applications on blockchain.
Aminbar has asked, what is the weakness of Finternet?
What are the weaknesses of Finternet? Okay.
Yes.
Very interesting question. Finternet is now an idea only. It's a vision statement. We have not seen the integration taking place as yet. But let me tell you, going forward, if I can ideate, I can extend my vision and thought process. I see the weaknesses of blockchain will be the weakness of Finternet. Weakness of blockchain will be the weakness of Finternet, because most of let me tell you one thing. If you are running your own stock exchange in your own platform, if you are running your bank in one platform, if you are running your insurance in one platform, you are running your bond and issue in one platform, and if these platforms are to be integrated, in different platforms are integrated, you need application program interfaces. And encryption you need, because without encryption, cyber criminals, it will be a cyber criminals paradise. Like when Ethereum and Bitcoin wanted to integrate their blockchain technology platform, the cyber criminals entered through the API, application program interface, which linked these two blockchain platforms. So encryptionable APIs are very important. So my point is, if the diversities are too much in various fintech platforms, and if those are to be integrated, the challenge would be much more serious. If everybody develops their platforms in blockchain technology, integration of them would be very, very easy. Point number one. Point number two, in today's environment, you are going away from the blockchain platform for financial settlement, because in any case, financial settlement today have to be done in with the intermediation of banking using fiat currency through the normal banking channel, because banking is still not on cryptocurrency, that is called central bank digital currency. Tomorrow in a blockchain platform, when the bank will come with a central bank digital currency, suppose central bank digital currency of India and central bank digital currency of London or UK will be exchangeable. And the Exim platform, I'm importing a machine from UK, or I'm exporting a machine to UK, or goods to UK, and the transactions are to be settled. If the CBDCs are interoperable, then I don't have to go away from my blockchain platform and settle the transaction. Remaining within, the participant bank will be able to settle the transaction. That will give a lot of security in the system and time savings, etc. Which one of the vision statement of Internet is that it should be seamlessly integrated. So coming to the summary of the answer is that platform technology, diversity in technology or platforms should be reduced. And that can be done through one technology which is common, that is blockchain. Because the basic philosophy is blockchain is one and same. Yeah.
Okay, sir. V. Ratnam, he has asked any example or names of neobanks operating in India as of now?
Yeah, Paytm is a neobank. PhonePe is a neobank. But there is no full stake. CMA Chattopadhyay will agree with me that there is no full stake license neobank in India. I have written a paper on neobanking. People can read about it. I have done a 48 bank survey in the world. Even in developed countries, there are very few full stake neobanks in the world. But let me tell you one thing, neobanking is going to flourish. The future of neobanking is much there because we need banking, but we don't need banks. And if we have to do banking without banks, neobanking is the only solution, because traditional banking of delivering what I was doing 300 years back today again through internet is not the solution. And in India, neobanking is flourishing faster than any other country.
So this is we are taking as
at
the
the
last
moment,
one.
let me tell you, all participants, please connect with me through LinkedIn. You can always post your question through LinkedIn. I have 20,000 plus connection in LinkedIn, so you will be able to benefit with all the things which I'm sharing. Even you can also connect with Mr. Chattopadhyay because he does a lot of posts regarding finance area. So, being present in a platform like LinkedIn helps you to learn more. Yes, Indakshi, your next question.
Yes, sir. So we are considering it as the last one, sir. Fintech, DEFI and DIFI. Would this replace physical banks in Tutu?
Physical banks is almost lost their importance except lockers, right? And tomorrow, if all your land deals or land registered document except gold, if everything is tokenized and held in wallet of Finternet, you don't need to go to bank. In fact, I hardly go to bank, maybe 2-3 days in a year, not even that. I do not know any one of you having the same experience. So Finternet, neobanking will replace the banks. There will be no physical bank available in the world.
So thank you so much, sir. With this, we have come to the close of the question answer session now.
Thank you so
sir,
much.
you're in. Thank you, sir. Sir, you're in mute, sir. Chitan, sir, you're in mute, sir. Chairman, sir, you're in
Sir,
mute.
I just in the last concluding remarks, what you have done, I have some different opinions, sir, because of course I understand the digital disruptions, neobanking, all these concepts have come, and the world will be under the control of this. Everything okay, but absolutely you must appreciate that the whole the demographic pattern in the literacy pattern, whatever you talk about, because in the banking system, it is being observed that ultimately trust works. The trust word is very much linked to the banking system, sir. Of course, the fintech and other things, as you have told, that there may not be any so this fraud, everything will be taken care of because blockchain will be a robust, to that extent. But I feel that the banking system, which is running on the trust basis, human interface, human relationship, and especially when you talk about the banks are also not only the mass banking, they're class banking, they're also doing mass banking in India. So here I think ultimately, yes, the many aspects of banking which are taken place in physical mode, maybe they'll be taken care of by this digitally innovations. But at the end of the human relationship will prevail, and bank will definitely.
Let me answer you. CMA Chattopadhyay, let me answer you. And my answer would be in 3 bullets. Bullet number 1, blockchain technology establishes single version of truth. What you trust may not be what is true, and what is true may not be what you trust. And if you can establish only one version of truth, And if that is the only thing you have to trust, then truth and trust, dissimilarity between the two and gap between the two vanishes. So blockchain technology, so far as the trust is concerned, which is the very essence of banking business of the world, will be established. Now come to the interface of people. Interface of people will be established through ChatGPT, generative AI. Now today's generative AI is defective. Today, if you use any bots of any banks, you will not get appropriate answer. With the advent of generative AI, now think of a situation that entire banking database, entire banking processes and systems, if a particular robotic software process has an access and the generative AI can develop an answer, and if that answer is in 100 cases, 99 to 95% being found okay, then today every banker gives you the correct answer? No. Even in the same branch, two guys differs. Then they have to call the regional office. So generative AI is coming up as such a powerful tool tomorrow. The importance of establishing human relationship will be taken over by generative AI. But at the end of the day, some people will be there who will be happy to listen to a banker. Okay, your chatbot is saying this. I'm going to do this. Is it okay? Then Mr. Chattopadhyay in his young days as a banker, you say, no, aap kariye, this is a good thing to do in banking. Those things will stay because at the end of the day, we are all human beings. Listening to another human being will take a lot of, maybe in 2050, we'll be able to listen to chatbots much more. But in any case, those things are yet to evolve, and I agree with you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. So we are really enlightened by the session. So now I would request CMA Dibyendu Roy, Additional Director and HOD of the BFSI Board, for the vote of thanks. Sir, please.
Thank you, Indrakshi. Good evening. After this enriching session, what we can say is silence. I think nothing to say more. We are very much thankful to CMA Dr. Paritosh Basu, who is Senior Director Services, Stability Consulting Private Limited, for his exhaustive presentation and actually invoking the interest of the very difficult topic of this evolution of Web3, internet by banks, which is, I think, has invoked the interest, and we require his more sessions in the coming days. And
Right.
I think Paritosh sir would be happily giving us another date, and hopefully it would be in the month of July, because we are having our 61st National Cost Convention at Gujarat from 27th to 30th. So BFSI would be taking a break in this webinar session for this next 3 weeks. And hopefully in July, sir, I request you to come again for the, I think, 3.0 to 4.0 or 3.1, whatever you tell. We just need you, sir, in the next
Thank
month.
you. I'll be. Thank you so much. I'll definitely.
And
it is
sir,
my alma mater and my pleasure and privilege to respond.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Rather duty also. Thank
Yes,
you,
sir.
CMA Chattopadhyay. Thank you, Indrakshi,
Thank you, sir.
and thank you, Dibyendu, for organizing this session. I hope I could meet your expectation.
Yes, yes, definitely,
Thank
sir. And sir, we will be uploading this session in our YouTube, and we'll be sending to all the members, because I think we have to again hear it again to understand it much more better. The intricacies are too much to only hear once. I think twice or thrice we have to hear it to
One has to
understand it.
reflect on it and do self-thinking. Then
Yes,
only one will appreciate. But once again, I will request people that if you ask question through LinkedIn, I'll be definitely answering it. No problem.
Thank you, sir. And we
Thank
also
you.
thank our chairman, CMA Chittaranjan Chattopadhyay, who has always been our just striking force, and and other members of the BFSI board for their continuous support. We thank our President Ashwin Dalwadi sir and our Vice President D.V. Nayak sir and other council members for their continuous guidance and support. And we hope to meet at our 61st National Coast Convention at Gujarat, which is at the Statue of Unity, which is the venue chosen is the tent city. And I hope all the members will be joining for this our annual event. With this, we close today's session. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Paritosh sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.